of me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the... You make me a believer.
How are you guys? This is Ali Khan from Bad Decisions. Today's video is going to be a little different because I was just surfing I was just surfing on YouTube and saw one video titled Truth About Aries, and I'm an Aries, and don't get me wrong, I don't believe in horoscope like what's going to happen in next and predicting the tomorrow. This cannot happen, okay? But in terms of Aries habits or your specific signs habits, yeah, it does apply on you. So I'm just going to react, and I just thought I never made a reaction video, so I'm just going to play this video and try to give some kind of reaction and see how exactly these are true. Okay, let's get to it. So first of all, this is my wallpaper. I took this picture from myself, and if you want to know how did I took this picture and want to see the vlog, you can check it out. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, I don't know. Okay, for disclaimer, I don't know what the rules and regulation about reaction videos. Am I allowed to show you guys her whole video or not? So I tried to search it out, but I never find anything as clear about reaction videos. So I'm just gonna make the video how I like it and see if I get any strike. Hopefully I don't. Okay, let's start. The truth about Aries.
So this is my cat Lily. She is an Aries. She is my favorite cat of the bunch. It's okay, I say it. They don't know. They're just cats. This is off topic, but I literally feel like I may have known Lily in another life. Like I bottle fed this cat because I found her when she was a couple weeks old. But anyway, she's a real bitch. She can be a complete psycho. Like, she wouldn't let anyone hold her like this. This is just for me. What I love about Lily, not only is she a flame point Siamese, which makes her the perfect fit to be a fire sign, but she also fits the Aries personality very well. She's loving, she's caring, smart, she's in charge, she's powerful, and she's sometimes mean as fuck.
We're not mean, okay? We're just brutally honest.
So Aries. Some famous Aries are James Franco, Aretha Franklin, Peyton Manning, Alec Baldwin, Kourtney Kardashian, Casey.
What?
Birth chart before you watch this video. So Aries. Some famous Aries are James Franco, Aretha Franklin, Peyton Manning, Alec Baldwin, Kourtney Kardashian.
Like what the hell?
Casey Neistat, Logan Paul, Ricky Dillon, Lady Gaga, Lauren Gray, Al Gore, Amanda Bynes, Tyler Oakley, Big Sean, Zoella, Nancy Pelosi, Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. is Aries! Yes! Of course, you see his personality, yeah? We are Iron Man.
First, they are a natural born leader. They are fire signs, so they can have very strong and overwhelming personalities for other people. I do think Aries are very misunderstood. Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the planet of war. So Aries are naturally very confrontational and aggressive, probably the most out of all of the signs. Because their sign and their energy is so bold and aggressive, only certain people can handle Aries, like other fire signs normally, and it takes a pretty like strong person to to handle an Aries. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and I think Aries know that. I am a Taurus, so naturally it's hard for me to sometimes deal with the intensity of an Aries. So I don't have very many of them in my life. It's crazy. I was just looking at like my Facebook friends, and I don't have too many Aries in my life. I have briefly dated an Aries, and it was an interesting experience.
Nice, good for her, because as we all know, Aries are fiery and very intense and very good at sex. So because and because Aries are like a god of sex, that's why we become sometimes cheaters. And I'm not, thank God I'm not, but most of the Aries are cheaters, so I'm not.
He totally cheated on me, so.
Oh, I think I have reacted too early.
And I'm starting to make Aries sound like a really bad sign, which it really isn't. It's actually very, very important to our society. And I know this video will probably get like a decent amount of dislikes and negative comments, because Aries seem to be one of the signs, definitely not the only one, but one of the signs I have noticed are least accepting of flaws, or can admit anything, or they just straight up just don't see it in themselves.
I can see flaw in myself. Like, okay, straight up, I know my flaws, okay?
Aries and fire signs in general are some of the most loving people, but they sometimes can't figure out how to express how much they love you. So sometimes they're really misunderstood, because their love can come out in a protecting way, even if that means fighting with you or being extremely honest with you in order to better yourself. I think it's just the way that they communicate. That's how they want to improve people. Aries is one of the most self-centered signs.
Self-centered?
And that's not always a bad thing. I think people hear the term selfish and they're thinking, oh, you only care about yourself. But that's how Aries does life. They have to put themselves first, their goals, their dreams, because they know that that's how they'll be successful, and that's how they will be able to impact the world the best.
Okay, that depends on the situation in my case, because... Okay, someone's there. Wait. So I'm back. Okay, so where was I? I have to repeat.
Have to put themselves first, their goals, their dreams, because they know that that's how they'll be successful, and that's how they will be able to impact the world the best.
No, I think that applies on the situation in my case, because I never put myself first. When it comes to my loved ones, like my brother, he's like my child to me. I love him very much. So if I have to do something for him or someone that I love, like I have savings, like I'm saving something, some money to get something for myself, and my loved one needs something else. I'm talking about the stuffs, okay, like electronics and the stuffs. So I spend all of this money just to make them happy, okay? But in order to impact on a bigger scale, I have to invest in myself to impact on a bigger scale. So I think you got the point. It's only depends on the situation. I'm not 100% agreeing with that.
They have to be assertive. They have to take charge sometimes. Maybe in a group project, and Aries is going to be the one who leads, or really tries to make the group successful. If they put other people before them, they'll get so invested in them, because they do. If they get really invested in someone, they really do. They're scared to do that or put themselves behind anyone else, because they need to be the boss. They need to be in charge, and they need to protect themselves before anyone else, and protect sorry, someone just texted me. Protect their ideas, protect their morals. They just need to sometimes be selfish, and it's something I think we can learn from an Aries, you know? I feel like a lot of us don't know when to take time for ourselves, and they do. They understand that, and they need to put themselves first. And this,
I think that's the story of any human being. We all human beings have something called survival. When we get lonely and we don't have anything to do, we find survival. That's a God-gifted skill we all have. But I think Aries or me might be good at it, but all of you guys have the same skills.
it makes Aries seem emotionally detached sometimes, but if you are loved by an Aries, you are loved. Like, that is one thing that I know about an Aries, is that if they love you, they love you. They care about you deeply. They can be some of the most sweet and loving people.
Okay, I don't think that's a positive thing in my opinion. That's a bad thing in my case, because when I love someone, I really do. When I care someone, I really do. And I became so protective, overprotective, and when I invest in someone, I give my 100%. But in return, I need 100%. It's like a need for me, you know, and it's a bad thing. I know it. Every other person can't keep up with 100%. They also have their own lives and all that. But I need 100% in back. I might be okay with 99, but definitely not 98. So because of this habit, I scared off so many people and lost so many people. Yeah, that's a bad thing to have. You gotta have the flexibility.
I think that often gets overlooked because they can be aggressive sometimes, or they just have such a strong personality that people just don't know what the fuck to do with them sometimes because they're just so intense. We need Aries, we need leaders, we need the Aries energy. Aries don't really like taking directions from other people. They may even be the type that just skips the directions when they try to put something together. They're like, oh, I'll just figure it out. I don't need instructions because I can do it. They're very self-oriented.
Yeah, that's true. This is like a core, my core, you know, when someone tells me not to do something, I have to do it then. Like, it's something inside me that pushes me to do that. Like, if someone told me, dude, you don't do it, I've forbidden you. So, and I don't wanted to do that thing too, but just because he said it or she said it, now I have to. It's like something, I don't know what is it, but yeah. And something, and someone told me to do something, like in authority, and do it. And something in me just snaps. Even though I wanted to do the same thing, but then I just won't do it. Like, try it out. Make me. I'm not gonna do it. It's a bad thing. So if you have it in you, try to control it. I try to control it all the time, but often I fail.
They are confident in themselves, they're going to be capable to do things, and they're going to challenge themselves.
Yeah, it's because one more thing. Maybe it's because the people, in my case, I make bad decisions, I make bad investments, and somehow I make it work. So maybe that's an overconfident type of thing.
Aries is very quick, you know, they are fast movers in life, like sometimes they are physically very fast. They can be kind of impatient. People who move about the world kind of slower and more laid back kind of freak them out because they're like, dude, and this kind of makes them sometimes impatient with like strangers. Like most fire signs, and especially Aries, are extremely aggressive drivers. They get
that's why I love Mustang.
Road rage. They can't stand idiots. They can't stand someone who's just doing something fucking wrong and getting in their way. They don't like anyone to get in their way. One thing that I personally really love and kind of hate about Aries is that they're so fucking honest. I've had Aries in my life and they've said some of the meanest shit I've ever heard to me, but a lot of it was true. They're gonna be that friend that tells you you have bad breath and like helps you get a mint. They're that friend who's going to just tell you when you're being a complete moron. They're gonna tell you when you're dating a bad guy. Very, very honest. They can't lie. They're not the type of people that tell white lies to make anyone feel better, so they don't sugarcoat a lot of things. They're very
Yeah, in my case, this is a bad thing. I don't sugarcoat. Even my brother, when I tell him something like, dude, this is like this is, and explain it to him like brutally honest, or doing the same thing for someone, telling someone that this is like this and this and this, and my brother's listening, he has a very specific expression for it. He said, dude, nice sugarcoating. He always does that.
very like real, and that's a really cool thing about an Aries. Does it sometimes hurt my feelings to like get so bluntly told the truth? Yes, but it's also something I really appreciate about Aries, because a lot of the times it's done out of love. They don't mean to hurt you, they just can't keep shit in their head. If it's in their mind, it's got to come out at some point. And a lot of Aries
yeah, that's true. That's 100% I can agree with. When I have something in my mind, it's going to go out somehow. It's better I say something in a good manner other than just going out of gun blazing, because when I keep something inside of me in my head, it's just over and over blasting until I get it out. So this is another bad thing.
Are people who like to journal or record things or maybe do YouTube videos because they like to get everything out. They can sometimes be very quick to anger. They can blow up about something small out of nowhere and just like freak out. But they are normally the type of people that get over things quickly. Like they'll just be like, oh, like they almost like black out and forget it even happened. They're like, let's move on. But if you really piss an Aries off, and I mean hurt them to their core, chances are they may forgive you, but they will never forget. They do really hold grudges. They will always consider that when being around you, talking to you. Like, they are very aware of mistakes that you have made. Aries are incredibly brave. And they're courageous and they want to protect people. And a lot of them are firefighters or policemen or in the military. They're very just strong in general, and I think that's something that can hurt you as an Aries, is that you want to be so strong for everyone and you want to be strong for yourself, but sometimes you just need to break down a little bit. They normally hide that type of stuff and try to come across as stronger and more put together than they actually are, which I think is kind of bad for anybody. One thing about Aries is, since they're so quick moving, just want to enjoy as much life as they can, they are very adventurous and outgoing and fun people to be around.
I can be fun, I can be adventurous, but I'm not very outgoing. I only go out when I have to or when I want to, that's all. I don't go out very often.
They're normally like the life of the party type of people. They're normally very interested in seeing the world and having experiences. They're all about the experience of life. And you know what is so interesting about an Aries too, is they're so like, they want life to be good. They want life to be happy and peaceful and harmonious. Sometimes they fuck it up for themselves, but that
I love the way that she's fucking up this.
Happy and peaceful and harmonious. Sometimes they fuck it up for themselves, but that's what they want. They like to create magical days in their life and, you know, experience things with people. A lot of them are extroverts. Now, don't get confused, not every single Aries is an extrovert. Some can be very shy, depending on the rest of their chart, but a lot of Aries are very outgoing and like confident in themselves. They can. So many Aries are athletes. This is very common. Aries needs to fucking move. Like, they're not the type of person, like I'm a Taurus.
I love the way she said, fucking move.
And this is very common. Aries needs to fucking move. Like, they're not the type of person, like, I'm a Taurus, I'm fine just chilling. Aries, like, need to physically move. Like, fire signs in general are very athletic normally. A lot of professional athletes are Aries. They want to be the best. One aspect of a Aries is they're first in the zodiac, like I said. So they're sometimes the closest to childhood. They're like the youngest people at heart. They can sometimes be 5-year-olds trapped in a 30-year-old's body. They
Whoa! This is the exact words my brother used for me.
love to play. They normally like kids. They normally like to have kids. They're the types of people that like Disney.